You're live. We're live.
They ain't got no.
We're live.
Good morning. How are you folks doing today?
Thank you for joining us this morning. We are continuing the journey
through Think and Grow Rich, and we're on an amazing chapter. I was listening to the chapter just now on audio, and it's amazing. Oh my gosh. The chapter is on persistence. And we're going to explore that today. And I think you'll enjoy the journey with us.
We'll be right back after these messages. We'll be right back.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like. We are back. And today we're going to talk about principle number 8 in Think and Grow Rich, persistence. The sustained effort necessary to induce faith.
Yes, the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. Faith, but not only that, is so simple. If you persist, you will win.
Succeed.
If you don't, you simply won't. That's just how it goes.
That's actually why it's one of the very first promises that I require in my book, Discovering Your Why, A Journey to Wholeness. Not that you don't quit on me, but that you don't quit on you.
Yeah, man. I was listening to it this morning. There was just so many vivid examples of how persistence wins and how lack of persistence loses. And you have some of those examples in your life too. Mm-hmm. We all do. And we're going to talk about that today more deeply. I'm so glad I was able to get my coffee made right before the show, and I'm ready to go with you guys today.
Ready to go. That light is fading in and out. There we go.
Okay.
You got to move your water, please, off of my mouse wire.
Well, move your mouse while I need my water. We start with a brother. She want to be starting something.
Good morning, Barbara.
Sister Barbara Mosley. How you doing this morning?
Thank you for joining us this morning as we take the journey, continue the journey through Think and Grow Rich.
Sister Barbara, can you think of times when persistence helped you to win, or when lack of persistence caused you to lose? I'm telling you, it's just that vivid. I can't find my daggone thing. Okay.
There you go.
That's actually why it's.
I like this sentence from the notes that I captured.
Okay.
Persistence is an essential factor in the procedure of transmuting desire into its monetary equivalent.
Yeah, I love that line as well. I've said that line out loud a few times in my life. Transferring desire into its monetary equivalent. And I remember saying that one time at a speech, and people were looking at me like, what a cool way to phrase that. I didn't phrase it that way. I read it that way and then repeated it. They thought I was so smart.
It's okay to borrow from the greats.
All great speakers borrow.
Absolutely.
That's what is the rule. All of the great speakers borrow stories. They borrow phraseology. Now, it's appropriate the first time you borrow to give credit where you got it from.
Mm-hmm.
That's appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
The second time you use something that you borrowed, you could say, you've heard it said before somewhere, or people smarter than me have said, da, da, da. And the third time, it's yours.
The third time you get to say, I always say.
But it is appropriate at least once. Okay. I have been bothered by people that have borrowed stuff from me without giving credit, even the first time, but you can't control it. So I've learned to say like air, such is life.
C'est la guerre, such as war. C'est la vie, is such as life. You can question me if you want.
I'm not questioning you, baby.
I didn't say you were. I said you could.
It.
Good morning, Miss Phyllis. C'est la vie. C''EST
Such
L
is life,
A
or that is life.
V I E. That is life, or such is life. That can be interchanged.
Okay. And c'est la guerre
C'est la guerre. Such is
is
war.
such is war.
Mhm.
C'est la guerre. C'est la vie.
We learn from Tom and Jerry.
That's right. That's where I get it from. I think I've heard Jerry say, "C'est la guerre."
Yes, that's exactly right.
That's where it came from. Oh, wow. But that's true. We learned from Tom and Jerry cartoons, Roadrunner.
Yeah.
We've learned if the product comes from Acme, it's going to explode. Okay.
Likely. But persistence is that there's one example of persistence. That Wile E. Coyote,
Was never
bro.
gonna, did you know the Roadrunner
But he was persistent.
is much bigger than you thought?
Yes.
I saw a thing on road. They're bigger birds. Okay. I didn't realize they were big. I thought they were tiny like the cartoon. But no, they're bigger birds.
Well, they were big.
And they can kill snakes. Yes, they can.
Persistence. What do you need more persistence for? Persistence can be in a lot of different things. Persistence in your work ethic, persistence in your optimal goal.
In that book, there's a great Sterling Sills book, The Laws of Success.
Mhm.
There's a great poem on persistence early in the book. Okay. I remember because I used to say it. Often the runner runs until the breath in him is gone, but the champion runs on leaden legs. His spirit makes him go. Something like that, persistence. And I used to have it memorized.
Willpower and desire, when properly combined, make an irresistible pair. That is what you cannot overcome. When you're up against someone who has the willpower and desire to go forward, it's going to be virtually impossible to overtake them.
That's right. Maybe I need my copy that had all my highlighted stuff in it.
When I think about both actually fighting movies, when I think about Creed and Big George Foreman, we went to see that on Monday. We went to see it on Monday. His persistence actually is what saved him. His desire is what fueled him, and his persistence is what gave him the ability to overcome the obstacles that he was up against at the age he was up against them.
That's amazing that you got that out of that movie, and that was absolutely right.
Well, thank you.
Let me see. That's my yard.
I think it is. That's all. Yeah, I think it's your guy.
I think it is too.
Absolutely. Barbara said, workouts is what I need, persistence. Well, actually, the workouts are the object of the persistence. The persistence and the desire have more to do with the outcome and the desire for the outcome than they do about the actual act.
Persist until you succeed. We're going to talk about it. What?
I need you to come back.
I'm coming back. I'm thinking about something.
I know. I need you to stop thinking about something, and I need you to come back. I get it. Come back.
Okay. Who do you think you talking to? Come back. You want me to come back to the show? If you persist. Here's the thing I got this morning when I was listening to the chapter. I was listening to it as I was preparing, getting ready, and all that, brushing my teeth and all that kind of stuff. The things that you want, the things that you're going to get, when you get close to them, they often trip you up with. You often get tripped up when you're close to achieving it with misfortune or confusion when you're close. And most people fail because of lack of persistence. That is the number one reason people fail at any venture is they quit too soon. Mm-hmm. They quit too soon. You heard the story about the man who discovers a gold vein in the mines, and he's mining. He finds some gold in a mine, And he goes back and he tells his family and friends, and they raise money and they buy the equipment to mine it. So they build the trails and all that kind of stuff, and they're digging, and they're bringing out gold. They're bringing out carloads of gold. And they were excited because then just a few more carloads, they will pay off all their loans and all their debts, and they'll be straight profit.
Absolutely.
And
Good morning, Dr. Deborah.
Inexplicably, the vein of gold stopped. And they kept digging and kept digging. They couldn't pick it up anymore. They kept digging, and they decided there's no more gold in this mine. And he sells his equipment to somebody else, and he quits the game. The next person that buys the mine hires a land surveyor and someone who is familiar with fault lines and the mines. And the guy came in and did some mathematical equations.
That's right, Barbara. Don't give up.
He did math, and he decided, because the fault lines here, you'll pick up the vein of gold in about 3 feet. Okay. And they dug on another 3 feet, and sure enough, it was a mine of enormous value. The first guy quit 3 feet from gold. That's the quote. That's the quote. You don't quit 3 feet from gold. Just 3 more feet. If he had persisted just 3 more feet, he would have had all the riches that he wanted.
Absolutely.
3 feet from gold.
And sometimes it's not about the consistent work ethic, but it is more about the desire for the outcome. Because he could have kept on digging and digging and digging in the wrong direction, but his goal was not to see how long he could dig. His goal or his objective was to find gold. And therefore, he hired the necessary resources in order to gain access to what he was searching for.
In books like Think and Grow Rich, you get these stories like the 3 feet from gold, and my mammy gotta have that 50-cent stories coming to my mind too. This is back around the turn of the century, and around the 20s, excuse me, when insurance had just started proliferating and people got rich in the insurance game. And there was this man, he was in his barn and he was building barrels. You use wooden staves, you bend the staves and put metal rings around to build barrels to store liquid things in them, like whiskey or whatever. He was building barrels. And this sharecropper, little girl, maybe 9 years old, she comes into a barn where he's building it, and she was watching him do it. And she creeps up to him, and he looks up. What do you want? He says, my mammy said send her 50 cents. He goes, I'm not going to do it. And she goes, yes, sir. But she didn't move. She stayed right there. Yes, sir. And he's going back to work and look up again. You still there? What do you want? My mammy says she got to have that 50 cents. I'm not doing it. Get out of here. Yes, sir. But she didn't move. And the man finally looked up and saw she was there. So he decided to take one of the wooden staves that he was using to build barrels. And he was going to go assault that child. Another man was there watching it. And he thought he was about to witness an assault. And he goes up to her menacingly and waving it. And he gets up close to that child. And she steps forward and screams, my mammy got to have that 50 cents. And he backs up, puts down the wooden stave, goes in his pocket, takes out 50 cents and gives it to her. She takes the money and she backs out slowly. She had no idea how she had conquered the man, but she knew her mammy needed the money. She knew her mammy told her to go get it. And she was willing to take a whooping to get what she needed.
She either had more respect or more fear for her mammy than she did of that man. And understand sometimes it can take a desire, a strong desire, and sometimes even fear to make you persist in a situation.
Yeah. Sometimes fear can be a motivator too. It's not just
a
negative.
Deterrent.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it can motivate you.
I can't watch my family lose another time or
right.
I can't give up. I won't give up. Poor health in oftentimes is a motivator.
Yeah. Good health, money, and sex. Those 3 things.
The desire for good health.
The desire for good health, money, and sex. Those 3 things, they become more important in direct proportion to how much of those things you don't have. So if you don't have good health becomes more important to you. If you don't have any sex becomes more and more important to you. You don't have any money becomes more and more important to you. Those 3 things primarily: health, money, and sex. What say you, Dr. Deborah, about she just popped on here in the health, money, and sex portion of the show. Did you see Dr. Deborah's picture yesterday?
It's beautiful.
And the sun shining on her face with great lighting, and someone just happened to have caught her perfectly.
Absolutely.
With the sun on her face. What a pretty picture.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Persist until you succeed. If at first you don't succeed, you're doing about average. Okay, because most of the time you don't succeed. The number one way people fail is quitting too soon. That's it. Quitting too soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what you got in your notes here?
I think it's important to understand. I like this. What
I like it too when you put together notes.
Willpower and desire, when properly combined, make an irresistible pair. Many who accumulate great fortunes are generally known as cold-blooded and sometimes ruthless.
Yeah, I read that too.
They're often misunderstood. What they have is willpower, which they mix with persistence and place back of their desires to ensure the attainment of their objectives.
That willpower and persistence that they place back of their desire. Persisting and keeping at it. A lot of times, like Henry Ford, she's probably got that in her notes too.
It is.
Henry Ford, how he was known as dogged because once he decided he wanted something, he stayed on it until. The story is told about him wanting an 8-cylinder engine in one engine block. And at the time they had 4-cylinder engines, but they said they had to put 2 different engine blocks in one car. And he wanted one engine block in the car, but had all 8 cylinders. And his engineer said they can't do it. He says, keep doing it. And they work on that thing for a year. And he goes, look, we've tried all kinds of ways. You can't do it. He says, keep trying. Figure it out. And the secret came to them. They was able to figure out how to put 8 cylinders into one block. And he got what he wanted. He persisted until he succeeded.
That's often how Steve Jobs inspired the Apple folks. He would have an idea, and then he would charge them to actually manifest that idea.
Yes.
And that's what I did actually last night in my manifestation activities. I actually had a challenge that I've been dealing with and been unsuccessful with moving forward. But understand that that's only a temporary condition until you receive the inspiration that you need to resolve it.
Noting that it's a temporary condition, that commercial, that impediment Lisa was talking about, I think it's powerful too. Dr. Deborah says,
many times not quitting when you are trying to reach a goal involves investing in the goal and bringing in people with the right tools,
Amen.
Gifts, and talents to help you bring about the right outcome.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Adding people can increase your persistence a lot. It even says in that chapter, this is where a mastermind group can be helpful.
Absolutely.
That's our next day, the power of a mastermind. But if you have a mastermind group of 3 or 4 people, typically there's at least one person there that's going to keep encouraging you to keep going. Mm-hmm. At least one that's going to keep
even if they're not the one with the answer.
Yeah.
Sometimes their whole role is for inspiration or pushing you forward.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited about today's topic too, persistence. Okay. You still want me to come back? You don't think I'm all the way back yet?
No.
Okay. I wanted to tell you guys, I have been persistently exercising every day for about maybe a month now. Okay. And if you're looking at me now, I don't have on a muscle suit underneath this shirt. This is really all me. Okay. You know how you can buy those muscle suits and put them on so it looks like your muscles are bigger than they actually are. Yeah. But I wanted to assure you guys, these big arms and chest, this is actually me, because I've been working out like that. This is all me. This material in the shirt is not that thick. Okay. So the big arms and big chest that you see now, this is really me, the product of persistence. Okay. So I don't want anybody to think I'm trying to fool them by putting on a muscle uniform or nothing like that. Okay. But I persisted in that. Even like last night, Sister Barbara, I did not want to exercise. I typically have been exercising at night. That's just the way my day flows. But I didn't feel like it. I did not feel like it. And what I had in my head was the workouts you do when you don't feel like it, they pay more dividends. They pay more. So I pressed my way.
Press on.
I pressed on. and started doing some abs. And next thing you know, I'm doing a lot of abs. I'm doing several things. And I just burnt up the abs last night. I didn't do any push-ups or any weights. I just burnt up my abs and then came into the room. Yep.
I think that that's good. I was very proud of you.
Yes, because I didn't want to do it. But I'm gonna keep going daily. We went saw Tony Robbins. Oh. We went and saw Tony Robbins. Remember he came into the audience and he was like right there on our row. And he was telling us
he's a big guy.
6'7". Tony Robbins is bigger than you think. He is 6'7", size 17 shoe, big ass teeth, all of that. Okay. He's a big dude. Okay. But he was like right there in our row, and he was talking about you can look at people and tell who exercises every day and who doesn't. And I was like, oh shoot. You can look at people and tell who does and who doesn't. That's what he said. That stuck with me. That stuck with me. Oh man. And that was a good talk too, actually. You know, we liked some of the speakers there. We didn't like one of the speakers there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I didn't like him. Marcus somebody.
Simone, the guy that has the Prophet Show, whatever it is. You didn't like him. Yeah.
I thought it was irresponsible. Think and Grow Rich, Chapter 8, Persistence, Principle number 7. Persistence. The building of a fortune generally involves the application of the entire 13 factors, but they have to be understood. They have to be applied with persistence. Any individual one of them, just taken as a one-off, would not necessarily accomplish the goal.
Just remembering that we went to that seminar, and I was thinking of all the different seminars that we have gone to and all the different workshops that we have attended and given and all that kind of stuff, and all the goal setting and all the planning and all the books and all the workshops and all the
Les Brown, Dr.
all the
Frank
coaching
Marshall,
and coaches and all the friends, all of that stuff.
The millionaire's mindset.
The millionaire, yes, they add up to something.
They are part of the persistence.
That's what it is. It's demonstrating at least two people that are willing to persist until they succeed. Okay, they're willing to try and try again and try again and try again. And we have highs and lows. We have successes and failures, which I think makes life life. But the willingness to keep persistent, I think, is one of the assurances of why we will win. Because we're willing to try again.
Again and again.
We're willing to try again.
Again and again.
And I want that for you too. And we as we were studying and all that stuff this morning, there was another thing that struck me, and we almost did a show on this, Dr. Deborah, was what the Surgeon General announced yesterday. The Surgeon General announced yesterday that loneliness
is as unhealthy for you or detrimental to your health
as cigarettes.
As cigarettes.
Really? Loneliness is as harmful to your health as cigarettes?
I think that's an attribution to the weight that they're finally paying to mental health.
My wife is brilliant sometimes, y'all. That could be an ode to leaning towards the understanding of mental health.
And the importance of it.
And the importance of it. At first I was thinking, we're not going to talk about that because I don't have any solutions for that. And then Lisa came up with some great solutions. You know, sometimes the cure for loneliness is friendship, being friendly. You know, sometimes the cure can be of service to others.
I was going to say benevolence.
Benevolence to cure your loneliness, giving of your time and your energy and your gifts, skills, and talents. That can help to cure loneliness.
Absolutely.
But the fact that loneliness can be as harmful to your health as a pack of cigarettes is the most dangerous thing ever invented. Cigarettes. There's nothing more dangerous to you, more carcinogenics in it than anything else. They're the most dangerous thing ever invented is cigarettes.
Dr. Deborah said, I can see that being true. Absolutely.
You can see that being true right away, huh?
I think it is. I think that is one of the reasons why, at least why I so quickly embraced taking Women Empowerment Network's Zoom, turning it into a virtual assemblage when we went into these timeout sort of pods at the beginning of the pandemic, because I saw that there were some people that were not going to have people just as a result of we're in timeout. You
Right.
can't go see the elders. You can't do this. You can't do that. We need to have something that ameliorates that loneliness.
And praise God, we did have something. We had Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Zoom helped out a lot.
Yeah.
And lives, that helped out a whole lot. I gotta go say one thing to our dude. I'll be back. Okay, let me see if he has cash app or something.
Or change.
Or change of what?
Change. What? Why are you trying to do this?
Because he don't know me yet. This is only his second time here.
All right.
And I need to talk to him. Okay. Change of what?
A 20.
Okay. See, I didn't know you had. You just told me.
Understanding that persistence is a really no, we were actually talking about loneliness. Understanding that being alone, being in isolation is actually how they enhance a punishment in jail. Like taking someone away from other people, even unseemly people. You figure you're in jail, the best place to be is by yourself. But even in that situation, solitary confinement is a punishment because of its impact towards the psyche. And I really don't think that it's fair for us as individuals who are free citizens to forget that we need to be there for one another, that we need to comfort one another, that we need to physically be present for one another. And it's really an important element. Absolutely. We want to talk about in persistence. We're going to continue on and say if you're that unless you are one of two out of every 100 who has a definite goal at which you're aiming and a definite plan for its attainment, then pass on with your daily routine and never comply with those instructions, it's out of order. Sometimes your goal is going to change. When you're early on in the development of what it is that you're attempting to pull together, you may not fully know what it is that you're endeavoring to do.
You have an idea and a direction, which is, I think, enough.
It's a good start.
Yeah. Yep. You're moving towards something, and then you can discover.
Absolutely. Good morning, Trivoli. That again takes us down the corridor of what God is trying to show you to deal with and to accomplish.
Are you going for something right now? Do you have a chief aim or purpose? One of the challenges in life is allowing ourselves to drift. In one of Napoleon's books, Outwitting the Devil, OTD, the devil's primary goal, it seemed like half the book, what the devil is trying to do is to make people just drift along and live their life without going for something, without going in a particular direction towards a particular aim, because then they are usable by the devil. But for the people that are thinkers, people that have plans and goals and objectives, the devil can't mess with them. That's the goal. So I want you guys to all, if you don't have one, think about it today. What are you wanting to do with your life and your time?
And if you don't know, get someone to talk to, because sometimes it takes the hearing of something that's going on or something that might spark your interest to bring you into a revelatory position where you actually see where you can fit in.
This could be a whole new direction for you. This could be new air for you. Yesterday ended last night. It really did. Today is a day that you've never seen before. So you can start with new objectives, new uniform, basically. You know, you can change your whole perspective by changing your wardrobe even. You know, decide that you're going to dress a certain way.
Yep. That's why I decided
to show a little skin.
My little shing ding 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 ding. It's from Miss Phyllis, but I haven't seen Miss Phyllis.
This is from Miss Phyllis?
Yes. It's not from her, it's for her. She loves to see my shoulders.
Are you kidding? Miss Phyllis likes to see your shoulders, really?
We've had the conversation. I love to have my shoulders out. 2 shoulders,
oh, man.
Even better than 1 shoulder. Whether it's winter, spring, summer, fall. I
want Miss Phyllis to be here for real, but she don't miss many days on the show. But man, she's not here today. Oh man, I need Miss Phyllis to come in the room because I want her to get what she want.
You're so funny.
I do. Persist until you succeed.
How can you apply persistence in your life?
And without it, you can't.
Are you in a situation where you know what it is that you want to do, but you've grown tired? Understand, tired is an option. You can take a time out. Just don't quit.
Yeah.
Just don't quit.
You know the poem by Don't Quit.
Mm-hmm.
When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you are trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must,
but don't you quit.
See, life is queer with its twists and turns, and many of us often learn that the goal is nearer than it seems to the faint and faltering man. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things seem worst that you mustn't quit.
You must not quit. Hey, good morning, Tyrone. He says, I love how y'all glow. Amen,
we glowing?
Amen.
I'm jacking up the poem, but success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint in the clouds of doubt. And you can never tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems afar. That's right. So, Trevor, good morning. She goes, yes.
Amen, amen. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. And I like when Tyrone pops in the room. Ty, when you come in here, you come. See, Ty, you know why I like Ty coming in the room? He comes in the room with presence. He comes in the room with something to say and like announce it. Like if he stepped, like if this was like a facility or a ballroom or something, I imagine Ty walk in the room and stand there
and survey the van
and say, "Ta-da! I'm here, y'all."
So we're grateful that you're in the room.
I like
that.
Joining
us this morning, Dr. Deborah, Tyrone, Trivoli, Barbara. We appreciate you this morning. I haven't seen Judy yet. She fussed at me yesterday, but I'm looking forward to seeing my sister in the room.
Judy fussed at you?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Today we're pulling from the beauty cards, and today's beauty card quote is from Beauty. Beauty is a doorway into timelessness, an invitation to now. Noticing beauty begins to build your beauty sense, a consistent path to the truth of your being. Come, sit, breathe. It's all in every moment.
Wow.
Beauty.
Beauty. I like that message. It wasn't talking about physical beauty, though.
Mm.
It wasn't talking about looks. It was talking about beauty. I like that message. I hope you liked it too.
The beauty of life.
When you first started, when you announced what the card was going to be, and you first started reading, I thought it was going to talk about beautiful inside and out, but that's not what I got from it. Okay.
The beauty of the world.
Read it again. Read it again.
Read it again?
Yeah. And let's feel it this time.
All right. Beauty is a doorway into timelessness.
Stop. Beauty is a doorway into timelessness. Oh, see that was the first thing. Interesting thought. Yeah, please.
An invitation to now.
An invitation to now. It's a doorway to timelessness, and it's an invitation to now. Read.
Noticing beauty.
Yes.
Begins to build
a beauty consciousness.
Your beauty sense.
Beauty sense. I love that line. Noticing beauty in all its forms. I think that's something that's an action step. We can notice beauty in all its forms, and that builds our beauty consciousness or beauty sense. I think you can notice the beauty of a flower, notice the beauty of a bird, notice the beauty of whatever. Notice the beauty of a child reading aloud. Noticing that beauty increases our beauty sense. Read.
A consistent path to the truth of your being.
A consistent path into the truth of your being. Go.
Come, sit, breathe.
I love it. I love it.
It's in every moment.
Okay, Brother Ty, let's
Ty,
talk
we
about
gotta read this. He goes on to say, "I'm fighting. I lost my job due to being myself, but I don't quit. I have a radio show, but she is scared due to her trauma and the magnitude of my brand communities from Black America. I won't give up. I believe in justice. Don't give up."
it. It's so interesting, Ty. This could be an opportunity. In that chapter, persistence, very, very often when misfortune comes, that is the axis to your success.
Absolutely.
You want to cash in the misfortune. I have a new client, Ty, and her business is helping employees to fight back. That's her business. She's an employee advocate. When companies fire people unjustly, or when there's intimidation or stuff going on at the job, or people feeling uncomfortable workplace environments, that's what she fights for. And she goes after the money too. That's her business. She helps them to sue and get paid.
Absolutely. Dr. Deborah says, "Yes, I like that card. It makes me want to go outside and just look around." Absolutely.
Doesn't it? It makes you want to, when things are, especially when things are challenging to you, when things are challenging, that might be the perfect time. Brother Ty, this might be the perfect time for you to go outside and appreciate some beauty. Find a pond, find something beautiful, walk that park, hang out with somebody that can encourage. I'm excited about the card. I'm excited about you, and I'm excited about the topic.
Ty says, "I would love to know her. I had intimidation, harassment, identity discrimination. May I inbox you for her information? I also contact the EEOC." Absolutely.
Yep, and she works with the EEOC. She's been paid, from this stuff, and she's been doing this for like 12 years too. So, yeah, reach out to me, and I'll get to you after the show. Today and tomorrow is the Sales Summit, the International Sales Summit by a lady named Amy Walker. And I met some of the other speakers last night. So it's going on today, starting at 10. I speak today at 2 p.m., but there's a lot of speakers. It's going to go from 10 a.m. on. I posted it yesterday. I'm going to post it again today. My session will be at 2 p.m. today, and they run on time too. But I'm excited about what's going on there with the Sales Summit. So if anybody's free around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to catch my live segment, all of our speakers are speaking live. We're not recorded this time. We're doing it live. So we run the risk of being Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake out there. So this is live.
I can't with you. Good morning, Evan.
We can have wardrobe malfunctions. Let's go, brother Evan. Un-F yourself. That's right. It pops up on my feed in the mornings. I get a ping on it or something. Let's go, brother Evan. That's
Persistence is the word for the day from the chapter 9 in Think and Grow Rich. The 8th principle, persistence.
I gotta get that poem. I will persist until I succeed. There's a poem that goes with that, and we all know it.
Evan says, "Go un-F yourself, get out of your head and into your life." Amen.
Get out of your head and into your life.
Amen.
Oh, there's the other thing too. By President Woodrow Wilson, and he was talking about talent will not, all that kind of stuff. Oh, persist until I succeed. I used to know these things off the top of my head, man.
You're gonna try to look it up right now?
Yep. It's from an augmented book, okay.
Persist until you succeed. If you find that you're weak in your persistence, center your intentions upon the instructions that are contained in the chapter Power. Surround yourself with a mastermind. What can I help you with?
Think and Grow Rich. I'm not the greatest salesman in the world has that chapter. I will persist until I succeed. That's where it came from. But there was a poem that I was thinking of too. But that's from The Greatest Salesman in the World by Augmentino.
The Augmentino.
Yep.
The power of Mastermind Group is that you get to leverage the creativity and mindset of multiple individuals, and they get to focus that energy on one objective.
I've been a part of some good mastermind groups, but that's actually the next lesson. Today is persist until we succeed. And in my life, there have been things. Let's talk about how the double-edged side of persistence too, because there have been some times when I know I quit something too soon.
Mhm.
I should have stayed just a little bit longer.
That's right, Evan. The BBC is a mastermind.
The BBC
Amen.
is a mastermind. I need to talk more about that too, because that's if it's already a mastermind, I'm already a part of the group. I could just plug in and take advantage of that mastermind instead of creating a new one. Thank you, Evan, for saying so. I appreciate that. See, that's another resource I forgot. I probably knew it at one point, but I forgot that I had it.
Mhm.
But there's also some things I held on to too long. There's one job I held on to too long. There's I should have stayed in. There was one network marketing company. I had just gotten recognized. I had gotten the top recruiter award, and then I got my check. My check was paltry compared to what I thought it was going to be, and I quit then. But I should have stayed. I regret that one. If I had stayed a little bit longer, the arc of my life would have been a little different, Or, going back to the concept, if you change one thing in your past, everything else changes.
Mhm.
What if I had stayed a little bit longer and I never would have met Lisa? That would have been bad.
Mhm.
I'm going to plug into the BBC Mastermind because there are times, Brother Evan.
The BBC itself is a mastermind.
I heard them. Okay, but I haven't used it as a
I
mastermind.
know. I'm just saying the way that you said it is as if there is a mastermind in the BBC.
Okay. But the BBC itself is a mastermind is what you want to correct me and say.
I'm trying to.
I got it. But
I'm sorry.
that's my baby. That's my baby.
You so silly. Oh my goodness.
Mm-mm-mm. Ain't no woman like the one I got. Come on, man. Persistent to it's 9:40 now. We gotta do our thing. Evan Jefferson, thank you very much for that reminder. Okay. Ty says, I had to inbox Mama McNeill for the come on, baby, read it.
For the ladies' information. Sorry, guys, I'm driving to an interview.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. I'll get the information from Brian and I'll get it to you.
Yep. And I will help you with her too. She's a pistol, man. She's serious business, bro.
Absolutely.
She don't be playing. She even looks like the kind of woman that's looking for a fight.
That's what you want.
But I don't want to say that to her. And you can't repeat that. But she's like ready for a battle.
That's good. That's what you want in an HR representative.
Yeah.
For somebody to stand up against corporations to help to get you what you deserve.
And that's what she does. Okay. Yeah, she's older than she looks too, by the way. But she's ready for a battle. What a blessing it is to have a business like mine, where I get a chance to help people to sell themselves and their services through a variety of different industries. If it's an intangible service, something that's not exchanging a product for, something that has to be sold through the story, I can help you to sell it better. Last night I was in a room with the other speakers, and really it's a sales summit, but they still had mostly things around sales, but not sales. So they were like, okay, they had a mindset speaker there. They had the strategy lady. They had the marketing people, the digital marketing person. All that stuff is around sales, and they recognize that they're around sales.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like when we teach them how to strategize, we teach them how to market. Even they confessed that when people are marketing and funneling well and they get the leads, their clients still ask them, what do we say next? And they don't have that expertise. So now they're going to say, I'm going to send them to Brian because he'll teach them what to say and do to convert them into paying clients. So I'm blessed for that. I'm grateful for that. There he is, William Brown.
Good morning, William Brown. Tyrone goes on to say, not ready for a fight. Justice, #justice. I love a business shark. Amen.
And he also says, I have all the proof.
It's three last employers that did the same thing and did not care about a person's livelihood, about people's livelihoods.
William Brown, good morning to you. It's Happy Today, fam. It's time for the greeting songs, okay? Let's go. What's greeting songs? Greeting songs are our way of saying thank you to the people that consistently contribute to the show. We know we have a lot of folks that watch our show and never say anything. I have a lot of people in my family that watch this show and don't make any comments because they know if I see them make some comment, I'm going to shout them out. And I'm going to shout them out every time. So like my mother, for example, she don't say nothing when she comes on here, but she comes on here and watches the show. She goes, I don't want you to say nothing to me on there. Ugh.
Tyrone says, I'm here, but I'm going to just keep listening so I don't crash my car. I'm already on. I'm on standby for the theme music. It's the best part of the show.
Well, we're about to do it now.
We're going to start. Hey, Miss Barbara, thank you for joining us again. You're going to have to help us to get a theme song for you.
Because you deserve one.
Miss Phyllis is here.
Miss Phyllis has a logo. Miss Phyllis is here.
Miss Phyllis is here.
So clear the way. Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day. There she is. Miss Phyllis was here.
I know. I just said that.
To get the shoulder.
Yes.
Dr. Deborah has a song.
Dr. Deborah, trauma healing and deliverance coach.
That's our girl, Dr. Deborah. Who's up next, baby?
Good morning. Good morning.
Trivoli. Life has new meaning to me.
Good morning, Trivoli.
That's our girl, Trivoli. I love her business too. Expedited weddings, get it done now.
Absolutely. And of course, Tyrone, you gotta call Tyrone.
Call him.
Amen.
Call Tyrone. Call him.
Evan, I thought we had a song for you.
I thought we did at one point too, but we need another.
Brown, good morning.
William Brown has a jam too, and it goes, good morning to our friend Bill.
Nobody thinks like him still.
We love him so, and we always will. Our friend Bill. Good morning to our friend Bill. Sister Katura Green came into the room just now. Good morning, Katura. She got a jam too, and it goes, back to life. Back to Katura Green.
However do you want it? However
do you need it?
Do you need it? Good morning.
That's
morning.
Right,
good
Katura.
morning.
Happy to see you. Persist until you succeed. Everything that in your life that you have persisted after,
you've accomplished.
You've gotten that. You have gotten that.
Absolutely.
You've gotten that date. You've gotten that job. You've gotten
that
car. You learned how to walk. You learned how to drive. Everything that you have persisted at, you have gotten.
Learning how to drive for me took some persistence.
Okay, but you can drive now.
I can drive now, but first of all, I learned how to drive at a late age because I am from New York, where you don't need a car, and most people don't even have a car. So when I learned how to drive a car, there was nobody to teach me to drive a car. And unfortunately, that was a rather trying situation because I drove my very first car into the back of a truck
and
left it.
She was driving in Manhattan.
Not very fast, mind you.
Manhattan, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She was driving
downtown
in
Manhattan.
And drove into the back of a parked truck. Drove into the back of it, crashed it, reached in, got her purse, got out the car, and left the car.
Jumped into the train station.
And went to the subway.
I never went back. And it took me 2 years to attempt even to get behind the wheel again.
Wow. You jacked up traffic for a long time that day.
I don't know. It was parked on the side. I mean, we wasn't in traffic.
Oh, man. Could cars get around your car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, somebody came outside and saw your car in the back of theirs.
Sticking out of the back of their truck.
Dr. Nurse, at least that story is so funny.
It's true. I jumped out. I reached over. I wasn't hurt. I reached over, got my purse. I didn't have no registration on the car or whatever. It was not in my name. It was in the guy who bought the car for me name, which I didn't tell him what happened either.
Man, my daughter Brianna, she had just gotten her permit to drive, her learner's permit. So I mean, she could drive with an adult in the car. And I know my daughter, she grows up, she's a pretty confident person.
I didn't have any kind of permits or nothing.
She did. She's a confident person. So one night we had bought a car, like to get around, a cash car. We had bought a little white station wagon for $800 to have a spare car. Okay. So we only paid $800 for it, cash. So one night I had to go to the Food Lion in Raleigh. I said, Bree, come on, Bree, you could drive to Food Line. No, I said, come with me, Bree. So she came with me. I drove there, and on the way back in the parking lot, and it was in the evening too. It was dusk. It was about to be night. I said, you could drive us home, Bree. She goes, really? I said, yes. So I gave her the keys, and I got in the passenger seat, and Brianna cranks up the car, checks her mirrors and all that stuff, and drove directly into the back of a parked Toyota 4Runner.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, break, pow, right into it. And I was like, back up. So she backed up into the parking space where she was in, and we got out the car. There was a little bit of damage to my car and a little bit of damage to their car too, their truck. So I sat on the hood waiting for the person to come out. And we was waiting for like 10 minutes. And no one ever came out. So I was like, get in the car, Brie. And we get in the car and we drove off.
Oh, my God.
But I waited for a while.
You're supposed to leave a note.
Oh, I'll go back and leave a note.
Craig said
1,000 degrees.
You'll be on your knees.
And you'll be burning bacon, please. Brother Freeze. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning, Craig.
He goes, good morning, everyone.
Have a wonderful, blessed day on purpose and enjoy it to the fullest.
Craig persistently posts that message. And maybe at some point, somebody's going to get it. There's this church that was seeking a new pastor. And they're looking for a new pastor. And they tried out different preachers. And then they had this one preacher that they really liked. So they decided to hire him. And he preached his first sermon at the new church. It was a phenomenal message. He just brought it down. Preached this great message. And everyone was happy with the message. The next Sunday, he preached the exact same sermon that he had preached the Sunday before. And it was still a good message. People was like, okay, but that was the same message.
Yeah.
The third Sunday, he preached the exact same message. And after this point, they're like, oh, yeah, come on, man. You got to have more than that. So they decided to ask him, some of the brethren. They approached him.
Oh.
Yeah. Pastor, we noticed that for the last 3 Sundays, you preached the exact same sermon. What's that about? He goes, oh, man, I'm so glad you guys noticed. Because I'm going to keep preaching that word until you guys start applying it.
Deep dig. I actually had that revelation myself. I know we're getting ready to close out, but I had that revelation myself because 2 Kings chapter 4, verses 1-7 has been a consistent message for me probably for like 10 years. And I keep saying, okay, can I move on?
No, you get new meaning out of it too.
Exactly. That's what we're going to say. Every time I get ready to say, I'm going to do something else, I'm going to talk about something else, it still comes back to what do you have? What do you want?
And no one delivers that message like Lisa. I want you to keep that. I want that to be your central theme sermon. That's it. It's a beautiful sermon that you give.
And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the persistence as I continue to remember even Yul Brynner and his
King and I.
Yeah, his recounting of King and I and doing that same show over and over and over again. And he was asked.
There was a play on Broadway called The King and I that ran for 13 years, 6 days a week for 13 years. There's one reporter that saw it the first year, the 5th year, the 8th year, saw this thing lots and lots of times. And finally, he was so impressed. He got a chance to interview Mr. Yul Brynner, who played the king. Mr. Brynner, I've seen this show 10 times over the years. And I am blown away, sir, by how each time you do this show, it's amazing.
Enthusiasm.
How can you do it? It's the same songs. It's the same dances. The same songs, the same dances, 6 times a week, year after year. How can you keep doing it so well? And the wise Mr. Brynner says, you're right. It is the same songs. And it is the same dances. But each time, it's a different audience. And that audience deserves my very best.
Absolutely.
And he's right. Every audience is different. And it can be the only time they see it.
Absolutely.
It's the same message, but a different audience.
Persist.
Each time you give your message, it's a different audience.
Absolutely. Persist until you succeed. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow for Shout It Out Friday. Remember to bring your links. We got some praise reports from these links that have been shared. People that have gotten new clients, new sales. We support you. You support us by coming every week, every day. We want to support you by helping to share your message with
Yes, and we love those praise reports too.
Absolutely. So we'll see you tomorrow.